Just imagine an enemies are attacking India, or we are in war, and the military infrastructure, particularly under Air Force, air runway or the airport, military airport is getting damaged. What will happen? How we will contend these enemies? That is how the dual utility of infrastructure comes into picture, and that is what we are discussing today: emergency landing facility. Hi, welcome to Twitter Growth Classes. My name is Vijay Sir. Let us deep dive into ELF, recently inaugurated in Assam by our Prime Minister himself. Okay. So what is this? This is highways. Normally, that is where the trucks, buses, passenger cars go. But if at all needed for any strategic purpose or even for a disaster management, we can use the same roads as a runway for landing the emergency materials, or you can say disaster materials, or even the fighter jets. Okay. So India's strategic emergency landing facilities, also known as ELF, has been demonstrated successfully in the Northeast for the first time. It is not the first ELF we are having. We are already having many ELF in the western sector and southern parts of India also. And in one of the question answering in the parliament, the minister has replied that there are 28 ELF in India, emergency landing facilities, 28 identified sites, transforming national highways into force multiplier for national security as well as disaster response. So it's not dual utility, it's a tri-utility, you can say. Disaster management, you can use it, strategic purpose, war kind of thing, you can use it, and for normal civilian functioning also, you can use these roads. So this is not normal roads. You might have remembered when Draupadi Murmu madam came to our Kerala for this Sabarimala, they created a helipad which actually went inside the means it could not hold the weight of the helicopter. So it will be very good, it will be good infrastructure thanks to his name is Nitin Gadkari, that he is building this kind of dual utility reality. So the roads are even constructed to withstand this kind of load. Okay. So normally they will be used for the civilian purpose of truck, all this, and if it is needed, you can also land here 70 tons or 40 tons of weight of these aircrafts can come down. So integrating civilian infrastructure with the military readiness. Okay. So what happens is there is a vulnerability, strategic targets. See, where is India's airbase? Every people know. So Army will definitely know about it. So those will be targeted first. Okay. So when that is being targeted, we can use the civilian roads for the purpose of landing and takeoff. In case of war, India requires alternative space from where it can deploy fighter jets if its air bases come under attack. That is why these are using it. And we have learned from the history in 1962 war, when India and China went for a war, where poor infrastructure in the Northeast, we could not take forward the war. Okay, and luckily the Chinese withdrew from that as well. Okay, so now we don't want to rely on the luck. We want some strategic plans for that. We have created a ELF. Now look at this engineering. Okay, a high-grade polymer modified asphalt will be used so that it can withstand 40 to 70 tons of load. Okay, dense bitumen will be used. So the road itself is constructed as a runway itself, and it will be maintained properly so that it can be used anytime for the combat. Okay, now what happens? These are the examples. Minimum 4 kilometer continuous length will be there. Example, NH37 is an example that can be used for example, refuel, okay, re-arm operations. All this we can use. So basically, normal road, it looks like a normal road, but built as a runway. Normally, in normal circumstances, will be used for civilian purpose of transportation of trucks, passenger cars. In case of need, like disaster or any kind of strategic war, we can use it for as a landing and takeoff of transportation aircraft or even the fighter jet aircraft. That is what the underlining. So all these aircrafts can take off from these regions, and that is what demonstrated by the Prime Minister himself. He landed in one of the ELF, and one is the first ELF in Assam. Okay, so these are some of the places where we have already in the western side of India. We also have in the northern side, Jammu Kashmir, and now it is coming in Assam. Okay, we also have in southern part of India, Ongole, Chennai, Puducherry also we are having it for this one. And what is necessity is minimum we need 3 kilometer. If it is 4 kilometer, this is well good. Okay, and it can be used for a helipad also, and also for runway as a runway, emergency runway, we can use it. So what is this one? This is basically, we can put this under the follow the PM crack UPSC also. Prime Minister himself has landed in NH37 Moran, also known by the name Dibrugarh. Here almost 4.2 kilometers is the length of the road, where he landed in C-130J. It's a very big transportation aircraft. So that means almost 70 tons has landed. There was no problem for the road. Okay. And this is strategically located just 300 kilometers away from the Chinese border and 200 kilometers away from the Myanmar border. Okay. So the Narendra Modi landed aboard, okay, C-130J here, signaling top level. See, most important person in the country is the Prime Minister, so he could land in that means that much safety is there in that road. It can be used for any disaster relief. You want to move the materials, tons of medicines, anything you can move, you can land it there and be distributed. So who are the people involved here? So of course, because it involves the aircraft, our IAF is involved, Indian Air Force is involved, and our National Highway Authority of India, Nitin Gadkari's department is also involved. And already we have something like Bharat Mala Pariyojana program. Under that, we are constructing roadways extensively across India. So this is what our national highways will also be used to the army, which will make our country more secure. Nitin Gadkari, Minister of Transport, has said this. Okay, so this is what some of the examples. They need not remember this. You should know that in all the sectors we have, south also we have, north, east, west. Now the first time we are having it in the northeastern region in Assam. Okay, so it is a strategic revolt. Okay, there's no much beyond this. Okay, so you should know. You can use this in the mains writing if there is any like China factor or a Myanmar factor or enemy factor. You can say that India is having. And there can also be a prelims level question. They can say like, what is the purpose of ELF in the defense sector? Then it's the emergency landing facility. Normal roads, normal things will be used, normal circumstances, but in extraordinary circumstances, the same roadways can become a runway for the aircraft, heavy aircraft actually. Okay, so some of them you can see Rajasthan, Assam. Now this opened now. Okay, we also have in other sectors 28 identified as per the minister replying in the parliament. Okay, multi-purpose infrastructure, disaster management, war, okay, rapid troop deployment, local connectivity. Okay, so with that, we'll wind up this video and classes. See you in another class. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.